Professor R. A. Fisher pioneered the maximum likelihood method, and according to him, this is an elegant method for statistical inference. Till now, we have used the maximum likelihood method in point estimation purpose. Maximum likelihood method in testing of statistical hypothesis is incorporated through what is called likelihood ratio test. In this module, we will discuss the basic concept of the likelihood ratio test and some features of this test supported by some introductory and interesting examples. Let x1, x2, xn be IID with common PMF or PDF f theta x. Let capital L theta be the likelihood function of theta given the data x. Now consider the problem of testing the null hypothesis H that theta belongs to the parameter space say omega H against the alternative hypothesis K that theta belongs to omega K, which is a subset of omega minus omega H, and omega is the parameter space, omega H is the parameter space under null hypothesis H. Then the likelihood ratio criteria is defined as some lambda x equal to supremum of the likelihood function L theta, theta belongs to omega H, divided by supremum of L theta with respect to theta for all theta belonging to omega H union omega K. Note that obviously supremum of L theta for all theta belonging to omega H is less than equal to supremum of L theta for all theta belonging to omega H union omega K, and these two supremum are necessarily non-negative. That is, the likelihood ratio criteria lambda x necessarily lies between 0 and 1. An alternative form of likelihood ratio criteria is lambda 1 x equal to supremum of L theta, theta belongs to omega H, divided by supremum of L theta, theta belongs to omega K, and naturally here lambda 1 x curl will be greater than equal to 0 but is less than infinity. That is, lambda 1 x curl will not have any non-trivial upper bound. This form is seldom used, and the reason may be due to the fact that here the likelihood ratio criteria is unbounded above. Consider the following discussion. Number 1. Null hypothesis H is true implies the numerator and denominator of lambda x will coincide. So lambda x equal to 1 should imply that H is true trivially. Even a high value which is quite close to 1 of lambda x can give the evidence in favor of acceptance of the null hypothesis H. On the other hand, we consider the second point. Here, the null hypothesis H is not true implies the denominator of lambda x will give the supremum value of L theta, because in that case the most likely value of theta, if exists at all, will lie within omega k and hence will lie within omega H union omega k, but unfortunately it will not lie within omega H. As a result, the numerator will be significantly less compared to denominator. So this implies in this situation lambda x will be significantly low, and you can consider it as quite close to 0. This discussion can easily motivate us to formulate the critical region as follows. Critical region: lambda x less than c, where c is such that the size of the test is alpha, or using lambda 1x as the likelihood ratio criteria, the critical region will be lambda 1x less than c1, and c1 will be obtained similarly from the size alpha condition. Now consider the following notes. If the distribution of lambda x is discrete, the randomized test may be used. Likelihood ratio test entertains any kind of null and alternative hypothesis, simple as well as composite. Under simple null versus simple alternative hypothesis, likelihood ratio test is equivalent to most powerful test using Neyman-Pearson lemma. As a proof of this immediate note, let the null hypothesis H be theta equal to theta naught, which is known, and as a result the null hypothesis is simple, versus suppose the alternative hypothesis is K theta equal to theta 1, which is again known, such that the alternative is also simple. Let x1 x2 xn follow PMF or PDF f theta x. So this implies supremum of L theta when theta equal to theta naught is nothing but the PDF of x at theta naught, and supremum of L theta at theta equal to theta 1 equal to PDF of x at theta 1. The likelihood ratio test will imply in this situation the likelihood ratio criteria lambda 1x will be equal to supremum of L theta at theta equal to theta naught by supremum of L theta at theta equal to theta 1 less than c, which implies and implied by fx at theta naught by fx at theta 1 less than c, which is equivalent to saying fx at theta 1 by fx at theta naught is greater than k, where k is naturally 1 by c, and this is nothing but the most powerful test obtained from Neyman-Pearson lemma. So the statement in the note is proved. Consider the following note. If there exists a sufficient statistic Tx based on x, then lambda x is a function of Tx. As a proof of this note, using Neyman-Fisher factorization theorem, we can write lambda x equal to supremum of L theta x, theta belongs to omega h, by supremum of L theta x, theta belongs to omega h union omega k, is equal to hx into supremum of g theta of tx, theta belongs to omega h, by hx times supremum of g theta tx, theta belongs to omega h union omega k. And suppose we denote it by, say, a function u of tx, because from numerator and denominator hx gets cancelled and the function in the numerator and denominator gets its supremum with respect to theta. So the expression what we get finally is a function of tx. So that means the likelihood ratio criteria is expressed as a function of the sufficient statistic, hence the note is proved. Let us consider the following example. Let x1 x2 xn follow IID normal mu sigma square. Suppose we want to test the null hypothesis H, that is mu equal to 0, versus first alternative k1 mu not equal to 0 and second alternative k2, that is mu greater than 0. Now in general the likelihood function L theta will be twice pi to the power minus n by 2 sigma square to the power minus n by 2 e to the power minus summation xi minus mu whole square divided by 2 sigma square. Now in the first testing problem h versus k1, the parameter space omega h equal to set of all mu sigma such that mu equal to 0, sigma greater than 0, and omega h union omega k1 equal to set of all mu sigma such that mu is real valued and sigma is positive. Under omega h union omega k1, it is easy to note that the MLE mu hat will be equal to the sample mean x bar, and MLE of sigma square, which is sigma square hat, is equal to 1 by n summation xi minus x bar whole square, which is equal to s square, that is the sample variance with divisor n. Again under omega h we can show that the maximum likelihood estimate of sigma square which is denoted by sigma square hat h, is nothing but 1 by n summation xi square. So as a result, here the likelihood ratio criteria lambda x will be equal to sigma square hat by sigma h square hat to the power n by 2, which on simplification becomes 1 plus n into x bar square by summation xi minus x bar whole square whole to the power minus n by 2. Hence, the critical region will be lambda x less than c, which is equivalent to saying 1 plus n into x bar square by summation xi minus x bar whole square whole to the power minus n by 2 less than c, and which is finally equivalent to root n into mod x bar divided by under square root summation xi minus x bar whole square greater than c, and this is equivalent to saying root n times mod x bar by s is greater than t alpha by 2 n minus 1, where s square is the sample variance with divisor n minus 1, and it is to be noted that here the s is the smallest, and t alpha by 2 n minus 1 is the upper 100 into alpha by 2% point of a t distribution with n minus 1 degree of freedom. Now one can easily note that this is nothing but U test with test statistic th equal to root n times mod x bar by s, which under h follows t distribution with n minus 1 degree of freedom, and that is why the cutoff point was determined as t alpha by 2 comma n minus 1. In the second testing of this problem, the parameter space omega h union omega k2 will be set of those mu sigma such that mu is greater than equal to 0 and sigma is greater than 0. So we can say that with respect to mu, this parameter space is a restricted parameter space, and from using the result of MLE under restricted parameter space, we can say that here mu hat will be equal to x bar provided x bar is greater than equal to 0, and mu hat will be equal to 0 if x bar itself is negative. So sigma square hat, that is the MLE of sigma square, will be 1 by n summation xi minus mu hat whole square, and therefore on simplification we get lambda x will be equal to 1 provided x bar is less than 0, and this is the case of trivial acceptance of the null hypothesis H, and lambda x has another form, that is 1 plus summation xi minus x bar whole square by nx bar square whole to the power n by 2 provided x bar is greater than equal to 0. Now lambda x less than c implies and implied by root n times x bar by s greater than t alpha n minus 1 on simplification, where t alpha n minus 1 again denotes the upper 100 into alpha percent point of t distribution with n minus 1 degree of freedom. Consider the following example. Let x1, x2, xn follow rectangular 0 theta distribution independently. Then the likelihood function will be L theta equal to 1 by theta to the power n provided x order n, that is the maximum order statistic value, is less than equal to theta and equal to 0 otherwise. Suppose we want to test the null hypothesis H, that is theta equal to theta naught versus alternative k, theta not equal to theta naught. Under omega h union omega k, the maximum likelihood estimate of theta will be theta hat equal to x order n itself. Hence the likelihood ratio criteria will be lambda x equal to supremum of L theta, theta belongs to omega h, by supremum of L theta, theta belongs to omega h union omega k, which here becomes equal to 1 by theta naught to the power n times an indicator variable I, which is a function of x order n and theta naught, divided by 1 by x order n to the power n, and naturally this ratio will be equal to 0 if x order n greater than theta naught, because the indicator variable I of x order n and theta naught will take the value 1 if and only if x order n is less than equal to theta naught, and the likelihood ratio criteria lambda x will be equal to x order n by theta naught to the power n if x order n less than equal to theta naught. Naturally, the case that is x order n greater than theta naught for which lambda x curl equal to 0 is the case of trivial rejection of h. So, creating the critical region, we have to simultaneously consider this region as well as the region under x order n less than equal to theta naught. Now, the likelihood ratio test will be the lambda x which is greater than equal to 0 but strictly less than c, where c is determined from size alpha condition. So, this is equivalent to saying LR test is such that either x order n is very small, say less than d, or x order n is greater than theta naught, because under x order n greater than theta naught the test is trivially rejected or the null hypothesis is trivially rejected, and in case of the region x order n less than d, the null hypothesis is non-trivially rejected, where d is determined from the size alpha condition. So this implies, on simplification, the LR test becomes set of those x order n such that this is less than theta naught into alpha to the power 1 by n or greater than theta naught. Naturally, we can remember that this is an uniformly most powerful size alpha test. Consider the next example. Suppose a random sample of size n is taken from the PMF, which says probability that the random variable xj equal to small xj has the probability pj for all j equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, where pj strictly lies between 0 and 1. Then find the form of likelihood ratio test of the null hypothesis H naught, which says that P1 equal to P2 equal to P3 equal to P4 equal to 1 by 4 against the alternative H1, which is equal to P1 equal to P2 equal to some P by 2 and P3 equal to P4 equal to 1 minus P divided by 2, where P is greater than 0 but less than 1. Here let small nj denote the number of times the value xj appears in the sample of size n, where n is fixed. So obviously n1 plus n2 plus n3 plus n4 will be equal to n, and also the vector n curl, which is the collection of n1, n2, n3 and n4, and remember that here n1, n2, n3 and n4, which are actually the frequencies of x1, x2, x3, x4 to occur in the data set. These frequencies are not fixed but they are random. So as a whole, the vector n curl follows multinomial distribution with multinomial index n and the parameter p1, p2, p3, p4 such that summation pj is exactly equal to 1. Then under H naught, the likelihood function will be L of P curl under H naught given n curl equal to some function C of n curl times 1 by 4 to the power small n, which is a constant where C of the vector n curl equal to n factorial by n1 factorial, n2 factorial, n3 factorial and n4 factorial. Similarly, the likelihood function of P curl under H1 is equal to the same C of n curl function into P to the power T into 1 minus P to the power n minus T, where T equal to n1 plus n2. Now, it is not difficult to get that the maximum of likelihood function LP curl under H1 is nothing but C of n curl divided by small n to the power n times T to the power T into n minus T to the power n minus T, which attains at the choice P equal to T by n. Now the likelihood ratio criteria lambda of n curl will be here the function Cn curl into 1 by 4 to the power n divided by Cn curl by n to the power n times T to the power T into n minus T to the power n minus T. This implies the critical region based on the LR criteria will be lambda n curl less than some k1, which is equivalent to saying n by 4 to the power n by t to the power t into n minus t to the power n minus t is less than k1, which in turn is equivalent to some function psi of t is greater than k2, where psi t function is equal to t log t plus n minus t log n minus t, and k1 and k2 are suitable constants to be determined from the size condition. Now check that the function psi t is minimum at t equal to n by 2 and psi at n by 2 minus t is equal to psi at n by 2 plus t for all t, which means the function psi is symmetric about n by 2. Now this is evident also from the following graph, which shows the plot of psi t function against t. So the critical region psi t greater than k2 is equivalent to saying set of those t such that either t is less than some k or t is greater than some n minus k, where the constant k is such that probability that the random variable t is less than k under h naught, this probability is less than equal to alpha by 2, but k is the highest integer for which this probability inequality appears. That means probability that t is less than k plus 1 under h will exit the probability alpha by 2, where t is nothing but the sum of the frequency n1 and n2, which follows under h naught binomial distribution with index n and probability of success half. Now this result that t follows under h naught binomial n and half, this is actually an immediate result of the marginal distribution obtained from multinomial distribution. With this all, we can draw the conclusion to this module. Now we can look back to give a brief up of the discussion of this module. What we have discussed in this module? We have studied the basic notion of the LRT and some interesting features associated with this test. We also discussed some introductory and interesting examples or illustrations which reveals the wide domain of applicability of this test. So for the next few modules we will continue the discussion on LRT. Till then, have patience.